Shoes are not for feet. I am a drone pilot. I remote control small vehicles with built-in cameras and sensors. I record video. I live stream. I filter and edit content. I'm not a military drone operator, although I could operate those large remote weapons platforms. And I don't deliver shopping either. My interest in drones came about as I had an interest in aerial photography, and I was adept at fixing and repairing machines. There was always a sense of emotion inside me, a heat that would develop when I observed people. I was a voyeur, but not the next door neighbour type who spent too long looking at you while you sunbathed. That wasn't me. I was a different species altogether. And so I began the journey that led me to becoming who I am today. My main function at work is to maintain a video streaming channel. I have a fleet of drones, hundreds of them, in the shapes of toys, small cars and vehicles, the kind you see in offices around the country, innocuous vehicles that are almost office furniture, disregarded gifts and novelties. Each of my vehicles has multiple cameras. Some are even used overnight when the offices are empty for office security and surveillance. The drones have motion and heat sensors, dormant most of the time, but they become activated by unusual and out-of-hours movements. The small drones are discreet and thus ideal for security. We don't advertise that we do this, as everyone knows Big Brother is always watching you. Returning to my sphere of interest, I came across fetish photography in my research. I found most of it not to my taste. You can't really understand bondage if you don't do it, and I have no desire to be a vessel for another person's excrement. What drew me was shoes. Shoes with high heels, strapless sandals and pumps, stockings and nylons, and feet. While young men my age were playing volleyball at the beach, I found myself employed at a shoe store. My interest in shoes and feet grew step by step. Like an artist, I researched the anatomy of the foot, the bones, the ligaments, the nails. I devoured books on feet and found out as much as I could about them. By night I read about phalanges, the 5 toes, and I began to develop my reverence for the calcaneus, the heel or the heel bone at the base of the foot. I delved into the history and anatomy of the shoe and foot. By day in my spare time I raced remote-controlled model cars, electric, petrol-driven, and then flying vehicles such as helicopters, and as technology developed, drones. I discovered the sesamoids, 2 tiny spherical bones in the foot. Then the ankle and the ball of the foot spurred me on, drew me in. I watched people in the street like a detective, imagining what their feet looked like. I had my feet massaged and I massaged feet. I memorized the veins under the skin, and eventually I realized I was not alone. Across the world, men and women alike spent hours happily fascinated by the feet of others. I developed my idea. I pitched it to the heads of a large multinational, a software giant with offices all around the world. They liked my idea. I installed discreetly a fleet of drones, cars, toys, and real drones. Of course, disguised as office gifts throughout the offices of the corporation, across the world and its subsidiaries, and I began to stream and download, process hundreds of hours of footage to discrete subscription channels across the globe. I filmed the secret life of feet. Suitable staff were selected and told that some random streaming would be taking place over time. Some rejected the idea altogether, although when they considered the bonus available for them to take part in the program, most agreed to try it on for size. As things progressed, the most viewed feet received the highest bonuses. Some did exceedingly well. The shoe companies loved it, of course, and some employees began to receive gifts and products, elegant socks, furniture, rugs, foot spas. Some became foot models and found celebrity. They became what Instagram stars used to be. It was all carried out under the table, and the mainstream never caught on. Myself, I updated the streams, catered the videos to my own taste, and I became a celebrity and icon of the genre. I've done well enough so far. I never have to work again, but I like it and I maintain my style. There are always pop-ups and startups that try to cash in and cash out, but they inevitably burn out, and people at the end of the day like quality, comfortable shoes. Life goes on. I have a favourite shot, a money shot, a shot that really does it for me. You see, there are so many varieties of shoe and heel to choose from, but my favourite is the humble pump. I once saw a woman at a cafe, her knees half exposed, crossed. She was sitting, one black pump hung casually half suspended by her toes. This revealed her stockinged barely black heel, the curve of the arch of her foot. Despite the normality of the simple image, I found it delectable, tasteful and beautiful. The innocence of it, the casualness of it, the unconscious sensuality of it. Almost lazy, an unconscious foot hanging in simple silence, gently rocking a single simple shoe. The light, the contrast, the elegance, all the factors that had interwoven, interlaced to create that perfect image, that one perfect moment. The designer who had conceived of the shoe, the shoemaker's hours of labour to make that shoe, the stocking maker who made that stocking, the rotation of the planets, the light, the choice of cafe, the choice of dessert she had that day as she wore that lazy shoe, the 100 million incidences that had led to that moment which I perceived and my whole life leading to that point. Every day I try to capture variations of that image, that one perfect image that I could not capture but is preserved in my memory. Every day I recreated, streamed again and again through thousands of feeds, creating my art. I have become a very rich man.